Welcome to the presidential edition of Swamp Watch. President Trump continues to go full tilt signing executive orders, so it may take me a few videos to get through everything that happened in the last week. So like and follow the channel if you want to hear all of it. But let's start with Elise Stepanik. She was President Trump's nominee for ambassador to the UN, and he has withdrawn that nomination because Republicans are worried that if her seat in the House of Representatives becomes vacant, that they will lose that seat to a Democrat. So it's a little bit of a recognition of the sort of tenuous grip on power that President Trump and the Republican Party have right now. In a little bit of an unusual move, President Trump signed an order titled Combating Unfair Practices in Live Entertainment. And I say it's unusual because he's been rolling back regulations on industry pretty quickly. And this is an example of imposing or enforcing regulations, which is a little bit out of step with what they've been doing in other industries. This order directs the Federal Trade Commission to work with the Attorney General to ensure that competition laws are being enforced. And it builds upon an effort by the Biden administration to crack down on junk fees in the concert ticket space. Also, last year under Biden, the Justice Department filed an antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation, which owns Ticketmaster, alleging that the company is abusing its industry dominance to harm consumers nationwide. The other thing that was a little bit of surprise was the order establishing the United States Investment Accelerator. What that order does is it establishes a new office within the executive department of the federal government to take control of the CHIPS Act, which is something that was passed with bipartisan support under Joe Biden, but President Trump has repeatedly criticized it and said it should be gotten rid of and the proceeds should be used to pay down debt instead. But this new order creates a special office to manage the CHIPS Act and to encourage companies to make large investments into the U.S. And it also signed an order to make the District of Columbia safe and beautiful again. What it essentially does is it says that the federal government will maintain federal properties in D.C., making them safe and beautiful. It also calls for deportation of illegal immigrants who are in the D.C. area, and it says that the federal government will coordinate with the District of Columbia police to keep the district safe. There were also two orders about tariffs that sent financial markets into a nosedive. One was imposing a 25% tariff on all automobiles and auto parts imported into the country. And the second one was imposing a tariff on Venezuelan oil, all goods from any countries that import Venezuelan oil. There's a big announcement tomorrow from the White House Rose Garden about tariffs and which tariffs are going to be imposed on which countries for which goods. So I'll hold off on any other comment about that until tomorrow.